Catfish. Catfish is Nigeria's most popular fish, yet prices have surged 30%. Exports remain weak despite record production, and costly feed threatens the industry. Let's join Ajibola Ayodeji, analyst at financial derivatives company, joins us to discuss this. Ajibola, I'm guessing we might be seeing a slowdown in catfish pepper soup and barbecue. What's with the sharp rise in price?
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon. Thanks for having me. So when it comes to catfish, we are seeing an increase in the price of catfish. And I want to say this, that catfish is consumed by about 70% of Nigeria. And when it comes to catfish, Nigeria is the largest producer of African catfish. We are seeing prices increase because the cost of feed for fish has increased. Majorly, maize and soybeans are the major ingredients which is used in the production of catfish, and we have seen an increase in the price of soybeans by about 6% between 2024 and 2025, and also the price of maize has increased and is even projected to increase more in 2025. So this has caused this increase, and also we are seeing that the inflation is still remain high, even though we have been seeing a tapering for like 4 months now. The inflation still remain high, so this also contributed to the price of catfish that we are seeing in the market. Another thing is the fact that we are in the rainy season where the demand for pepper soup is much, and people prefer using catfish for their pepper soup. So because of the increase in demand and because of the imbalance between supply and demand, we are seeing the increase in the price of catfish presently. And also the demand is also affected because even though Nigeria produce majorly, Nigeria produce more, it's not able to meet the demand for catfish because the demand is higher than the supply. So that's why we are seeing the increase in the price of catfish presently.
I did mention that maybe we would see a slowdown if we have more demand for catfish and less production. That doesn't sound so good. We do know that Nigeria is, one of the world's top producer of this African catfish. You mentioned that exports is still low. Aquaculture, shrank last year. Why are exports struggling? Can you just explain to us? And possibly, how can the industry become a bit stronger, much more stronger source of food in terms of food security and, forex income for the government?
Okay, for Nigeria to improve their export of catfish, although we're exporting now, but it's very limited, which is mainly smoked catfish. That's what we're exporting now. But Nigeria can also improve its export. I would like to say this, that Nigeria can learn from Vietnam. Even though Nigeria is the largest producer of African catfish, Vietnam is the largest exporter and producer of catfish majorly, and their own catfish is known as pangasius. And that pangasius, they contribute about 48% to the global production. And what is Vietnam did? The first thing they did was for the government to provide a support for the farmer by providing access to finance for them, and also providing subsidy and bringing about policies that promote export for this catfish. That's the first thing they did. And another thing they did was to increase or to transition from small holding farming to large scale, leveraging economics of scale, which increases their production and reduce the cost of production for them, which increase the profit for the farmer. And another thing is that they engage in value addition products like producing frozen fillets, ready to eat packs, which is more appealing to the Western and the Asian market. And lastly is the last thing I would like to mention that they did was that they provide they establish a body that regulates the exporting of this catfish, and also this body ensure that the farmers comply with the global standard which is needed in the market. So they ensure the compliance with the global standard. All these things they put in place, amongst other things, help them to penetrate into the market, which they have feasibilities. So if Nigeria can emulate this, I believe we should be able to enter into the market and even increase our export earning. And notably, I would like to say this is that Even though pangasius, the price is cheap, Nigeria can enter the market too, because African catfish it has a high nutritional value when it comes to vitamin, when it comes to protein, and when it comes to healthy fat. So Nigeria can still compete. They have a leverage in that aspect to compete with other stockfish other catfish in the market.
And speaking of leverage in the market, yeah, we do know that our catfish has that nutritional value. But what role do you see the government playing to ensure that our catfish is, top spots in the, in the global space?
Okay. I can't hear you. Please, can you repeat the question?
So how does the government, how can the government ensure that our catfish makes it to the global market? And in terms of value addition, you mentioned what the government of Vietnam did to, ensure that their catfish, got, value addition. So what can Nigerian government do to boost our local production and also ensure a value addition for catfish in the Nigerian market?
Okay, for the governments, I've stated it what the Vietnam government do, and I believe that Nigeria can do the same by investing in processing facilities, especially processing infrastructure. Nigeria needs that one because, according to a report, catfish when it is harvested or when it's taken out of the pond, it cannot stay more than 2 weeks. So there is need to invest in processing infrastructures that will enable them to package it and to be able to transport it to other countries. And the process of freight also takes long. So before they can do the packaging and transport it to other countries, it takes long. So if these things can be reduced, if policies can be put in place in order to encourage farmers to export more and to reduce, if they reduce this time that is used, it will also help. And also government should provide access to finance for farmers so that we can transition from small holding farming of fish to large scale, and believe this will also help the farmer, and it will also help in improving the foreign exchange earning when it comes to catfish.
Thank you so much, Jibola Ayodeji. The government's role, especially in also the feed, the inputs that this catfish need, is really critical to ensure lower prices in the country. Thank you so much for joining and sharing your perspective, Jibola.
Good evening.